let's see who's awake or not awake. Actually, I take Smiley to the doctor again and checkups after her eye operation. So things are going well. It won't be like it used to be long ago, but she could at least get rid of her, what do you call those? Guide dogs, or service dogs. Yeah, that's what I say. She's training me to be a service dog to see for her. But things are going well. So I'm not going to exercise today because this is the last day of our $40,000 grant that we do every month. Okay, every month we give out $40,000 to members. And again, you probably heard me say this before. I can't believe that I do this, that we're able to do this, that the business is making enough profit to give that kind of money back to our members. And so we give a total now of about $70,000 every month. We've given over $1 million now to members in the last year and a half or so. And that's just, I thought you would carve my face in out on the mountain with all those presidents if I ever did something like this. Oh, it's just something I see that we all should do. I mean, there's nothing better than giving to other people. And I don't know why capitalism, I think, sort of slants that. Everybody's trying to build up as much toys as they need. And I think, boy, to me, life is having something that you're doing in life that you enjoy doing. What are you born to be here as and to do and to help other people with? I mean, we all have some different skills, and we're all trying to go through the education system to be in a category that everybody else determined. And we all have our own categories. We got to figure out what they are for us. I just saw on TikTok, they say, some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community experience. Now, I don't know protecting the community experience means, but there's all kind of shit out there, and you just have to learn to deal with it. It's too hard to change, and just to change your little section of the world, what it is. And that's what I feel. I found, 50 years ago that the government has programs to do that for all of us, whether it's to solve a problem or to get on a new career path, that we could give more of ourselves to our community and give more to each other. But we have to be in the right position and get the right tools to be able to do that. And most of it is really, Megan, how are you? Most of that is really trial and error. Now, Megan is a delightful person and Tammy and all the people that help for free, other members. See, and that's what I can't believe that we're also doing, is that members volunteer their time. We give them little stipends, but it's not a career, and after they learn how to do this, then they volunteer their time to be available to answer questions from other people who are trying to learn to do this. And that's why I think I'm not the best to do that for people, because I've been doing this for 50 years and I think about it 24/7. So it's a different game that I'm in. Bill Nile's brother, I heard me call Bill Nye a lot. And no, nothing to do with him. He's got a PhD in something. I got an MBA, but I'm a shitty student. I actually started a PhD program because I was a college professor in computer science. Back in the 70s, if you knew how to spell a computer, you were a professor. And I was teaching computer science at one college and taking the same course at another college. So I just kept my people 1 week behind what I was learning, and that's what it all is. Realize you don't have to be a magician, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to have credentials, you just have to do things. That's the important things. And sure, there's roadblocks for the kinds of things you think you want to do, because that's what's put in front of you. And if you get to those roadblocks and keep winding into those roadblocks and finding ways around those roadblocks, through those roadblocks, over those roadblocks, then you'll see, hey, I have more control over my life than I really thought I did. And I could do stuff like no one. Well, here, you start a business and you get things and sell it for free, and you make a lot of money, so you give it back to your customers. And there's nobody who sits down with a business plan doing that. And that's really because I work from my heart, because that's where the important things come from. You try something and work from your heart, you learn from that, you fail, so you pick your ass up again and keep going. But trust your heart more than anything. You have to use your brain, of course, so you don't fall off the cliff. But the problem is that people don't know the free help that's out there to help them get through that, to help them start. I want to be able to open an ice cream store with my children. That's a terrific idea. Well, just do it. Okay, how are you going to open an ice cream store? Do it. Well, from what I know, and I know a lot of people out there haven't been studying government grants for 50 years that I have. And so here's what you do. You go to sba.gov, and then /local-assistance, sba.gov/local-assistance, okay? And what you do is you make an appointment. You put in your zip code, and you'll find 30, 40 organizations where you live in any county in this country. There are nonprofit organizations that help you take your business idea. They do not charge any money. They help you put together a way to make that idea work for you, okay? There's a lot of ways to do that. You don't have to have, big store. And now you want to start an ice cream store, you can get rent-free. There's so many places now that can't, because of COVID, a lot of commercial real estate is empty. I just drove through a rich suburb of Washington, D.C. Man, half the stores were empty. Now, when these stores are empty, what the government loves to do, you could have the store for free. See if you could start a business. We won't charge you rent for the first 2 years. Wow. So you're halfway there, right? Okay, now to get the other half, okay, maybe you need 10 grand to get the ice cream things or whatever. Okay, you go to those free organizations, nonprofit organizations that help you put together the idea. If you have to try to raise money, okay, they put together that for you. If you try to get a loan, then they put together that for you. If you want to get investors to do that, then they put together that for you. Man, how do you start a business? That's okay. You get free legal help, you get free accounting help, you get free any kind of help you got, marketing help, all that is free. But you don't know, because most people, what they do is they go to Google to find out, okay? And when you go to Google to find anything, you're just setting yourself up to get screwed. That's a biased opinion, and I'm sure everybody doesn't do that. But it is, because see, if you don't know what's going on, you get sucked in to people who know how to sell. And this country has one expert it makes better than anyone else is how to sell. Look at the look at the presidents we have. And the last one knew how to sell, right? And he became president. Actually, I feel that he used some of the skills I do. If you act like a crazy man, you get a lot of free publicity. Then you don't have to buy ads. And that's what I lived when I made my 2 New York Times bestsellers and all that, is I act like a crazy man on TV, and they love that. TV loves that. It's not entertainment. It's not information on TV. It's entertainment. So if you're going to entertain the audience, man, you got a guest shot. And that's what Trump does. That's what I did. And it's still, even now, what I'm doing. I mean, if I was here saying, well, you should be aware of government programs. They're very important. And a lot of people use them. No, you're going to flip the channel or do something else right now. But if I say, hey, how about a house for $1? How about $100,000 to open up a coffee shop? Things like that. I was a professor of computer science, and that's how I learned that, is that you can't teach anybody anything unless you first keep them awake. So if you don't keep them awake, you ain't teaching them. Because that's why they have to do it. And that's what it is. There's so much media in our country now. It's a fight to try to use that, for your ideas, not some schmuck's idea who's just trying to fill their pockets. No. And your ideas deserve more. But you have to be clever enough to use those tools in our society that are available for free to help you succeed at what you want to do, anything you want to do. There's money and help and everything. And getting the help you need is not just filling out one application. No, that doesn't happen. I mean, it does, and they're the people I used to put in my commercials. Hey, I just had to fill out this application by Thursday. I was a millionaire. Hey, you can do it too. And it's probably not going to work for you, okay? And you're going to have to bust your ass to do it. But there's help to bust your ass. And when you fall down, to get up on, try that bicycle again, because you're going to fall again. And that's what it is. And you can't spend money trying something, because you're going to fail too much, and you'll run out of money before you figure out how to do it. Look at all the idiots running things nowadays. So you know it does not take a mental genius to be successful in this country. Look at all these idiots. But if you don't have money, then you can't spend money to try to be successful. Don't, buy another get-rich-quick scheme, because no, you're getting the people who sell the schemes rich, not you. Or it's also too easy to get scammed by somebody who promises you anything, and you give them money and you never see them again. The internet's, it's too easy to do that on the internet now. So that's very important that you don't do, because every website we give you will be somebody who gives you money for free, or gives you free expertise to help you learn how to get the money and help you need to do what you want to do in life. You want to get a better education. You want to get a job. You want to fix up your house. You want to buy a house. You need health care. You need free legal help. Anything. You got to get out of debt. You got to pay your bills. All these programs are here. And the government gives out an average of $25,000 to every family every year to solve those kinds of problems, okay? And then we do, okay? One thing I want to make sure you know, this is the 4th of the month. Now, at midnight on the 4th of the month, every month, we close our largest grant we have in the month, and that's for giving $40,000 to individuals to spend on anything. So at midnight tonight, you have to fill out the application to be into this one, and to be able to apply for this one. There's no application fee. Anybody who says there's an application fee are a scammer, because real grants don't ask for application fees. I mean, there's a few maybe are real, but you're safe to just follow that. If there's application fee, just get out of there. You don't want that. There's too many, all government agencies, all nonprofit agencies, and that's where 99, 44, 100% of the grants come from, never charge you a fee, okay? And I worry about saying never, because there's probably 1 out of 500,000 that do it. So there goes that never thing. And you can't rely on never, can't rely on everyone, and can't rely on anything that you say is always this. That's why when you're thinking about grants or government programs, say, oh, they're complicated. Yes, there is a few that are very complicated, but any grant that you want to live better, to start a business, or it's just going to be 2 or 3 pages, fill in the blanks, and that's it. You don't need anybody to help you. You're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your money before that. And even if you don't believe me, then you should at least get an application first. Go get an application that you think you should be eligible for, then see if you need help. Don't get help first and then go look for an application. That's crazy. That's like getting a prom dress before you're asked to the prom. You got to have a date for the prom, man, before you go spending money on a prom dress or a tuxedo or whatever the heck they wear nowadays. And that's the important thing. But we get caught up in advertising, and people say, oh, applications are so difficult, because that's a person making a living out of helping you fill out an application. And also, if you don't believe me on free help, go here. Go to findhelp.org, okay? Findhelp.org, and put in your zip code, and then put in government applications, okay? Government application. I get 244 organizations who help you fill out government applications for free. 244 nonprofit organizations that help you fill out government applications for free. Do you hear that? 244. you're going to go to Google and put in, grant writer or something like that, and you're going to get 200 million people who say they could help you, and every one of them, except a handful, are going to charge you money. And you can't find that handful because you have to go through 200 million applications. So that's why it's a kiss of death. Google is the kiss of death on stopping what you want to do in life. If you really know how to use, if you want to search for that or anything for free like I show you, the best place is not Google, is AI, because that's like a research project. So you get authentic research, not people who want to sell you something. There's no advertising on AI yet. So be careful, because to me, it's like when I first started this back in the 70s, I used to go to the library. That's where all the information is. And I'd research and all this kind of stuff and get all the information about, some apps only have 6 questions. Hello from Georgia. Megan, if they're charging you, stay away. Anybody charging you, just have to stop. There's too many other ways. And to find people who will not charge you to do anything, okay, say it's in Georgia. Say you want money for living expenses. Okay, you go to AI, and I use Chat GPT, but you could use any of them probably, and you put in, give me a list of 20, this is important words, nonprofit organizations or government offices, because they're the only ones who really give money and don't charge, that will help me pay my living expenses, and include the websites and put it only for Georgia, okay? Because a member talked about Georgia. But actually, if you remember, we have that all set up for you. You go to the 500 mini grant report for Georgia, and you'll see that. All the help you can get. But if you go to AI, if you're not a member, you will get a wonderful listing. Okay, you may stumble and you may have to do it again, try a little different words, what worked for you, and they'll be there with the links. And I know most of all those programs because I've been studying this for 50 years, and I could tell that this is good. And here's what you could do there, and what I do too, if they send you 20, give me 20 more. And then they give you 20 more, and you don't like them, or called a bunch, and they don't seem to, then give me 20 more. See, the whole thing now, here's where people lose. You're looking for that organization that is good for you to apply. You don't know. All you have is 20 or 40 organizations that may give you money to apply for paying your bills. They may do that. So you don't know for sure. And now, so you don't apply to 40 because that's a waste of time. You don't know. What you do now is take that list of 40 organizations and you start calling. Just go on the top. It doesn't matter. Even if they say, oh, it's only for women over 8 feet tall, or some requirement that you don't fit into, that's okay. You call them anyway, because they're people in Georgia. That organization you're going to call spends a career helping people get money to pay their bills. That's all they do, right? So this is an organization that does that. I look like Trump did it. That's all they do, right? So you call them and say, hey, I know I'm not a woman over 6 feet tall, but I'm still looking for help. And I know you don't do it, but can you suggest somewhere to go? You're looking how you can use your personality, okay, to try to find people that will help you, that are in the business, that know so much more knowledge than you do about this. And they're willing to help you because they're in a nonprofit organizations whose mission it is to help people in financial problems. So you're asking them for what they've been spending a life doing. When you ask somebody for what they're spending a life doing, man, you become their best friend. Their relatives and family are sick of hearing about it. And you have a real interest to ask them an important question about something that they've been spending a lifetime. So how you treat them and how nice you are is a function of how much help you're going to get. For free. It's all for free. Believe me, it's free. We're not used to that. We're used to people calling us and kissing our ass because they want to get us money. And we could treat them like shit and they're still going to be there because they want to get money from it. Not this. People who give money, and those are people in the government and nonprofit organizations, get the same, get absolutely the same. Am I a veteran? Yes. 3 years, 2 months, 9 days, Vietnam. Get the same, but I wasn't in the jungles. I joined the Navy. I wanted a clean sheet every night. It was draft time, and I said, oh man, if I get drafted, I gotta go camping. I hate camping. so the Navy sounded like a good option to me. Clean sheets every night. And I learned how to drive ships in the South China Sea before there was GPS or anything. We had to use the stars and the moon and the sun and all that stuff with a sextant. Remember sextant? And that's not a porno thing. But it was great fun. I now have more responsibility for the rest of my life. Now I'm a two-butted huckster, selling stuff. But remember that these people are here to help you. They will 80% of the time funnel you to someone who says yes. See, Megan knows. Megan knows. Megan is heart of gold. I mean, just our members that help other members, they each belong on a pedestal somewhere in the town square about how they're helping humanity. I can't say that more because I want to do that more too, and I don't know how to do it. And they're stepping up and trying to do it. I'm here, a newbie. Hi, a newbie. Katia. Katia? Oh, nice name. Yeah, so first of all, Katia, what you have to do is download the reports, okay? And that's important. And you go to, oh, Kenny, you're a newbie too. Yeah, and go on to, in the search on top, put 500 in there. And you put 500 in the search, then you'll see the section that has all the states listed. And you download the mini grant report, 500 mini grant report for your state. Okay, they're all listed there. So you want to just download it and see. And you'll have a step-by-step list of all the grants in your state for anything you want. You have trouble paying your bills, you have trouble getting health care, you have trouble starting a business, you have trouble getting a job, trouble buying a house. They're the best starting places for that. And then also above that, there it is, Tammy put it up. Also, the top of that list, before the states are listed, is a copy of my Let's Go Meta Grant Report. The Meta Grant Report is where I put the answers to all the questions I answer. and it narrows down. I mean, maybe there's another 500 in there. But the reports for everything. So like if you're looking for, maybe you have a disability. Well, we have a special section in there for people with disabilities. You download the report on grants for people with disabilities in your state. So that's it. When you go to the 500, the Let's Go Meta Grant Report, look for disabilities, it's like number around 24, 25, something like that. Download that report and you'll see all the states. Download as many states as you want, and they're the places to start to get grants if you have a disability. And remember, all the reports that we have that we give you as a member, you are welcome to share for free with anybody else, okay? Anybody else. Send them your relatives, your friends, your lovers, your dog, anybody who needs them. We do have a section on pets and all the free money and help that's available for pets. I mean, we all know that it costs a lot of money to take care of, right? And so there are grants for pets. But again, like all the good stuff, it's not advertised. Listen, I want to go over a few items. I'm sorry I got so carried away, but I like that because that's what people should know. It's really the process. And then I tell you about other possibilities that may or may not help where you live. They may or may not, but they're going to give you an idea of the kinds of things to start looking for where you live. Like now, you know that the government at the Department of Labor has money where you can get $450 a week for 30 weeks. 30 weeks, that's almost 3 years. $450 a week for 30 weeks if you're self-employed or unemployed. And that has to do with the weather. In other words, if the weather is a problem and the business got hurt or you lost your job and things like this, this is unemployment money now just for people with disasters, okay? And we have a lot of disasters now in our country, right? And we're going to have more, right? And I just heard yesterday the hurricane season in Florida is going to be a killer this year, okay? So you're going to have problems like this for income and then problems for home repair. And now, particularly in Florida, I would start looking to repair my home now, okay? Because once the hurricane season starts, and that's sometime in the summer, that's going to be bogged down. And they have programs right now, I know, in Florida, $10,000 just to fix up your home so it gets through the hurricane. Okay, how do you find those? You go to, and this is true, but every state has something like this. There's not only Florida, but I know it's going to be a lot of hurricanes in Florida this year. It's like double or triple the amount that they normally get. You go to findhelp.org. If you remember Let's Go Help, you download the Let's Go Help Meta Grant report, and it's item number 8 for home repairs. Or if you're not, then you go to findhelp.org. Put in your zip code and then put in home repair, okay? And you'll see, 10, 20, 30 organizations that help with home return. And again, the key is calling. Please call. Don't call me, call them. Call them, okay? All those nonprofit organizations. So that's okay. Here's how to find out if your area where you live is in a disaster zone. FEMA.gov/locations. FEMA, FEMA, .gov, GOV/locations. Because when we have problems, weather problems or whatever, disaster kind of stuff, then they designate this area is a disaster area and it gets all this extra grant money to do anything. Man, fixing up houses, living off of things, buying new houses, everything is all available for free and so much. I mean, that's how I learned about this. We had a flood where I lived up in Wilkesboro, Pennsylvania, back in the 70s. Man, my father not only got money for his business, he got a free trailer to live on. He put on a local golf course, so he was a pig in shit. and it's amazing what the government has. Listen, I'm running out of juice, guys. But remember, apply by midnight tonight. For membership, for members only. If you want to be a member, it's $20, and it's findhelp.org. So it's $20 a month, and you could come and go, and you think we've screwed you over, we'll refund your money. Never worry about that. Midnight tonight is the deadline, and all you have to do is fill out and one sentence on what you would do with $1,000. That's all you have to do. One sentence. You talk about an easy grant. One sentence. And the next grant is on the 15th of the month. We give out grants for car repair. So the 4th is the $40,000. Then we go car repair. And I have nothing to repair, particularly with the membership and what this business is doing. We struggle, of course, at times, and that's sort of fun to learn and what's going on. But believe me, all we want to do is help as many people as we can, and we'll do it with an open heart and love for as many people as we possibly can. We have bad days, of course, and I'm a shitty guy at times. I try not to be, and I think we have to encourage each other not to, let the demons sneak in. And that's what I feel from the people I work with that are grant helpers that help you, and the members who volunteer to help you are just the salt of the earth, and they all deserve a statue in the town square, because everybody else is just trying to get your money. And that reminds me, where would I go for low-cost cars for sale? Well, start with cars. You remember, get our report on getting free cars and free car repair. We have a report that shows you all the sources. If you're not a member, start with findhelp.org, put in your zip code, and just put in cars. And you'll see what nonprofit organizations where you live that help you get a cheap car, a free car, or free car repair. How do you like that? Isn't America great?